So, hello, 안녕, 여러분. Hello, everyone. Real quick, I'm just going to share this to Facebook. Maybe get some, maybe not. It is like Sunday morning, so maybe people are busy. But I'm going to post. I'm live. Maybe I can get some traffic, maybe not. I said I'm live traffic. Whoops. I mean, regardless, we'll be able to catch the replay. People should be able to. Got 0 viewers right now. Good. I have a good. How about I say I'm live? Bring me in some traffic, please. This computer's acting a little slow. Okay. Anyway, hello, annyeong. Whoever is watching, I'm really trying to do like a quick share to Facebook, but it seems like it's going really slow. I realize I love going live, but honestly, the lives never benefit me unless I choose to do them on YouTube because it's so much easier to save them here. So I'm trying to get this going and just share. Like, it won't. It's acting super de duper slow. So just bear with me. If you're here, say where you're from, who you are, if you want. If not, that's fine too. I'm live. Bring me some traffic. It's taken me forever to just go live because I was under this impression that you needed to have a certain software to go live. But then I realized, I can use my cameras, my webcam software. So here I am. We'll see if we get anybody. So anyway, Korea. South Korea has, I don't want to say South Korea has changed me, but I have definitely changed a lot this year. And it's always been my intention as I get older and older and older, the more I'm changing into who I desire to be, always striving to just become better. And even in the face of being depressed, having times where I was super depressed or super just didn't know what was going on with me mentally or with my environment, family issues and stuff. I always had goals in mind that would keep me, having something to look forward to. And ever since I was a kid, I felt like God put it in my heart to come here. I've wanted to be here for a very long time. Anyone who knows me, hi, hey, what's up? People dropping in. Anyone who knows me, I've wanted to be here since I was like probably 16. No, I don't know Korean. That's one thing that um it's not that easy to learn a language, even if you're in the country of your target language. That was one thing that kind of disappointed me because, yeah, you still have to have that intention to learn. And I didn't really have a good routine of like picking up Korean when I was back home. So I kind of still kind of been slacking with that here. But honestly, I've kind of realized I don't see how I would benefit from learning Korean a lot, except for in my job, with my kids and being able to converse with coworkers and stuff. But other than that, like, um, I don't know. I've been doing pretty well with the little Korean that I know, and Korean's just a lot harder than I thought it would be. But I'm trying my best, learning at my own pace. Um, so basically, my experience here has been me going to school during the week, and on the weekends, I do what I want. And I feel like I've never had a schedule like that because I've always taken jobs where I would work on the weekends. Like in my entire adult life, I pretty much always had jobs where you work on the weekends. And even if I didn't work on the weekends, I still wouldn't have a lot to do. To me, there's so much to Korea. There's so much to discover with Korea, so much to discover in a new country, especially a country that's friendly for people who don't have cars. So, yeah, um, I've had ups and downs. I've had a lot of culture, not a lot of culture shock here, but I've had culture shock and just times where I felt really left out, um, times where I just felt so lonely. And it's a loneliness that you can't describe. Like, you couldn't have prepared me for this type of loneliness. Like, I felt it in the US before, honestly, because I feel like deep down in my heart, I have a leaning towards being a loner. But, I make friends, but sometimes I just kind of feel alone even when I'm with people. Um, but yeah, so I've had times where people rub me the wrong way or whatever, probably due to cultural differences or differences in just how we perceive things, how I perceive things. But that's cool. That's fine. I see the incidents that you have with people, it's like a blessing. It shows that you are getting out there, you're interacting with people, you're getting to know people. And I'm just so grateful for my experience here. Um, I've learned a lot. I feel like I haven't learned like a whole lot about the culture, but I've learned enough. Um, I find that, like, honestly, I've always admired, like, the beauty of, like, Asian people and, like, the style. I think the style is really awesome here. I love fashion. I love seeing the way people dress here. I love observing all of that. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm American, so I know that I can't do everything that Koreans do, but I love that aspect. I love that you can go to a cafe and you can just not I don't wanna put it this way, I don't wanna say, like, you can go to a cafe and just, like, kinda be superficial and take pictures, but I love taking pictures, and I feel like people are more willing to, like, do that here than in the US. Like, sure, we do that in the US, but, um, there's a lot of vanity. I will say that. There's a lot of vanity in South Korea that I haven't noticed in my part of the US, so yeah. I feel like women have a grasp of, like, more femininity, more there's stronger gender roles and things like that, in this country. I mean, it is, this country is ran by mostly men, and men dominate the workplace still. That's what I've heard, at least. But I don't know, as far as, like, sexism, I just feel like I've experienced sexism here. Experienced sexism in America. It's all the same. No matter how, like, progressive I feel like America has gotten with, trying to raise equality, there's still never gonna fully be like equality between sexes. But yeah, branching out into my experiences, I went to Gyeongju, I've been to Daegu, I've been to Seoul, I've been to Chuncheon, I've been to Hwacheon, I've been to a few different towns and cities here and there, and By far, my favorite place is Seoul. I'm not gonna lie. So I don't know. It to me, there's always something new that I can find there. I'm the type of person I like to take my time in getting to know an area. That's why I decided to live here and I wanted to teach here for 1 year because if I just did like a 2 week trip, there's no way. Like I would have been overwhelmed by like trying to explore Korea. So yeah, I mean it works for some, but not me. Um, if anyone who drops in the live has any questions, please stop me while I'm on a roll. Um, yeah, I guess also something I did not expect coming here. I did not know it was going to be so difficult for me to adapt to this whole public transit thing. It honestly never fails. Every single time I go to Seoul, I get lost or I miss a train. And it's pretty frustrating. It kind of is annoying because you have to like try and be on time for things, certain things. And then when it ends up not working out, it's like, oh, but I literally just bought a whole ticket in advance and then I missed my train and it was the last train of the day. So now I got to take the subway and I got to waste more time. That's one thing I do not like about living in Korea, like having to take a bus. A 10-minute drive here takes about an hour bus ride. I don't know how it is in Detroit where I'm from, but here it's just they're on something else. It's really upsetting, honestly. It period. Like I need to have a car. I feel so bougie because I don't know. I did not expect this to be such a struggle for me. Um but yeah, I don't know. When I first came here, it was so hard. Like I got sick and everyone in my training was sick for my orientation for teaching. Cuz I'm with Talk Korea and I don't know, I can do another video about that whole experience, but that was like the worst of the worst. Everybody got sick. Some people were literally like running fevers, and we still had to keep going. And I feel like that was like my army basic training for being a teacher. It prepared me for the type of work pace that you're expected to, not the work pace you're expected to be at, but the kind of pace that they expect you to kind of keep and the expectations that they have for you, whether it's teaching or just if you're with other people. And, you know, I don't know, just the pace of how everyone goes. They're like, kaja, kaja. Everyone always says kaja, and that means let's go. And it just sometimes it'll just come out of nowhere. It's like, okay, we're winding down, kaja, and then boom, you gotta get up and be ready to go. And um, yeah, I really love it here though. I just find that sometimes, like it, when I first came here, I was resentful towards like gravitating towards Americans, Americans, Americans. Because if I wanted to go all the way to Korea to just talk to Americans, I could have just stayed my butt in the US, you know? But you have to remember that people are people at the end of the day, and you all have something in common, whether it's being a teacher or you all just love to travel or you love the English language or you just speak the English language natively. A foreigner is a foreigner at the end of the day. Um, I found that I don't get along with certain people from certain parts of the US typically. Honestly, it just feels like it never fails. People that are from a certain part, I for some reason we just kind of don't get along. It always ends up being something where I'm done. But at the end of the day, I really, I love people and I like Korean people, but sometimes you do need that like kind of at home feeling. And I got that this weekend. Um, I met a lot of people from US and Canada, and they were Black women. And we all met up for a meet and greet with a YouTuber called Traveling Nat. And she's one of the reasons why I'm here in Korea. Uh I feel like I got a lot of info from her videos about Korea, teaching in Korea. And I just want to give a shout out to YouTube and the community here, because if it wasn't for YouTube, I wouldn't have the strength to want to do something like this. It would always be like a thought in my head, like, oh, one day I can go to Asia, but um, it would just probably have never even happened. Probably never even would have executed it, because I would feel too in the dark about things. I mean, you've got women doing room tours, doing food tours around Seoul or wherever other countries they're in. And it's Black women at that. It's great to see people that look like you doing what you aspire to do. And I'm just thankful to God for really putting it in my heart. Because for me, I change my mind a lot, and I don't always stick with the same goals. Goals change sometimes. But in my experience, like, no matter what, like, I always had Korea in the back of my mind to come here. And it's just crazy because I had a belief that it would never happen. And I know that because I wasn't admitting it to myself, but it was because I never made plans to come here. I would always say, oh, when I get more money, or oh, when I finish my degree, or oh, when I do this, this, and this. Let me tell y'all, I didn't want to even finish. I didn't get a bachelor's degree. I do not have a bachelor's degree. Period. I don't see the point at this point, because I didn't even know what I was doing. I didn't know, I was aimless. I have my associate degree and I'm darn proud of that, because that's, Lord knows that took too long. Like, I'm just not a school person. If I don't know what I'm in school for, like, what's the point? No point whatsoever. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna keep this a short live, 20-minute live. So we got 2 more minutes, Kiana. Um, yeah, but it's great. I mean, I've had so many good moments here. I made a new best friend, like linked up with my best friend. We had been friends for like 10 years, but like I didn't know he's my best friend back then. But he's awesome. Like, he really helped my transition here and stuff. Um, we fight and bicker sometimes, and we have our cultural differences because he's Korean and I'm American, and sometimes there's different expectations. But just being able to talk it through, we're still friends. And he also has a YouTube channel. I'll post in the description box. I hope he starts posting. I'll be excited for that, because yeah, he needs to post more. But yeah, this is just a little bit about me and my experience here. Oh, one more thing. And this is something I feel led to write more about. If I can get some things on paper, I'll definitely let y'all know. But I've found that I never thought I would meet so many African people being in Korea, even just in my own city. I'm not even living in Seoul, and it's a smaller city, but there's a lot of people from Africa. And I found myself kind of clashing with an identity crisis, because whenever I talk to people like from Africa, especially, mm, I don't want to say Africans born in Africa, but like Well, I won't go into that. I'll just say whenever I find myself talking to an African person, it's like I feel like I want it to be like holding a mirror to myself, just kind of like a missing piece of culture. And that's just honesty because I I wasn't raised, it's a totally different culture than being Black and American. Um, Especially with my situation that I'm in. I come from a single parent household. I didn't have the traditional food that different cultures in Africa, eat. Not that food is a big deal or anything like that, but you have differences, and there's, traditional clothing. Okay, I technically have traditional clothing, but I don't have a specific country that I can associate myself with. Africa's a big continent, and people ask you, where are you from? And it's like I'm faced to try and not give like a history lesson, because I mean I don't want to talk to someone as if they don't know about slavery. And also, you can't assume that everyone in America that's Black, doesn't know their roots. So, it's always a valid question, but it just kind of reminds me that I don't have a country out the US to identify with. I mean, I'm a proud American. I can honestly say that. Maybe at one point I was like meh, but being abroad has made me more proud than ever before. Just at the simple fact that people literally ask you questions about your country, and you realize some people only have an experience with America from the news, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever social media they like to consume. Like, um, yeah, and you get, I don't know, it's just crazy because you just have an expectation of um what your experience is going to be like here, but it just ends up being different, but you accept it. I accept that my experience here has been different, but I couldn't have imagined this experience. And I feel really grateful. Like, I am a talk scholar. I'm a scholar. This job didn't come easy to me because of my mindset. Um, I applied 3 times to this program and finally got it. Well, here's my little lady friend. She holds she holds my wigs. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to hit in this video. Really glad that I can just go ahead and go in with a live instead of having to edit, because that's really like annoying. Um, so yeah, if we don't have any questions, I'll just go ahead and get off. Um, I thank Korea for making me stronger, making being here with me. Like, if Korea was a person, I would tell her, thank you for being here with me during such an important part of my growth as a young woman. Um, just leveling me up, and just beauty wise, being there with me as I'm leveling up mentally, and just putting myself out there more in situations where I wouldn't always put myself out there. And also just confronting a problem with a solution instead of confronting the problem with restating what the problem is. Figuring out solutions to what I have issues with, figuring out solutions to what's going on with me, It's been a big part of my self discovery. So just want to say thank you to Korea. Thank you for all the people that I've met here. I've met so many great people here, met some weird people too, creepy people too. Um, Thank you for starting me off on my travel journey, my expat journey. And if anyone here prays, if you could just pray for me on one thing, is that I would know the next step to take when I am done being here. Um, yeah. So maybe my next live will be about teaching and my experience with that, and also my experience with the talk program. So I'll dig and dive more into that in my next live. But until next time, hopefully I can post some blogs as well, vlogs as well in the future, because I have a lot of footage of my experiences here in Korea that really just don't need to be sitting in Google Photos. They should like be up for people to see so people know what I'm doing and all the places I've been. So, especially for myself as well. So yeah, if there's no more questions, then I'm gonna say 안녕 and have a good night. 잘자 or 준하로 되세요. But nobody says that, so you just say 안녕하세요 in the morning. But good morning, good afternoon, whatever time it is. By the way, these earrings are from Gyeongju, which was kind of like the old capital of South Korea before Seoul. And there was a museum there, and they were selling these, and they were like $10. They were really cheap. Um, yeah. So I love these earrings. They're like my favorite now, my favorite ever earrings, and they're not cheaply made. That's what I love about them. So yeah. Anyway, just came from church and I had some sundubu jjigae. It's like a tofu stew with friends, and we had some drinks after. I had a cookie. I didn't want to drink anything, so yeah. But today was an awesome day. It was an awesome weekend. Went to my first Korean wedding. That was cool. And yeah. All right. So I'm out. Peace. Thank you. And subscribe, like, comment, rate, whatever you want to do. Reach out to me if you have any questions. If you have any suggestions about what I should bring up next, let me know. Okay. 안녕.